is there one specific thing that has made a profound impact on you that if you had to choose just one thing that you would always come back to recenter yourself, meditation, journal, like, any of the sexy personal development things. Is there one thing that has really had a profound impact on you that you would come back to?
Surrender.
Ooh.
Surrender. And surrender sounds easy. Surrender sounds like, oh, you just let go. You just let go. Like, oh, if I just sit here and I open up, or I meditate, or I do the wellness retreat, or I do the Vipassana, or I do the whatever, like if I just let go and open arms, open mind, open heart, let in whatever I believe is out there, or like, screw it, whether I believe it or not, I'm just going to surrender, right? Surrender, for me at least, has been the most challenging choice I have ever made. Because when you surrender, you have to recognize what you're surrendering to. You're surrendering to everything in your life leading up to that moment, every hope, every fear, every desire, every trauma, every fleeting or still visceral living with you emotion that you're aware of, that you're not aware of. And when you surrender fully to the human experience, when you surrender fully to what you have gone through, what you're aware that you have gone through, you're opening yourself up to reliving that. You're opening yourself up to processing things that you maybe have not processed before or have only partially. And for me, what that looked like specifically was on my 36th birthday, choosing to want to finally learn how to move past the most challenging, darkest day of my life. And it was January 22nd, 2005, burying my father. And all the things I'd done up to that point to get better at it and to learn how to develop a relationship with it, to get to a point to where I could at least talk about it and not break down. I recognized that I had not yet completely grieved. I had not yet let that go. And what's hard about surrender is I think there's a level of conscious or subconscious fear to what happens after I surrender. Who am I without this? Who am I without this weight? Who am I without this work? Who am I without these things that I need to process and optimize and share and do all these things? Who am I without? And when you surrender, there is an immense amount of fear that we maybe don't fully recognize waiting for us involved in the work, because on the other side of surrender is a new identity, is a new, almost like entire existence, at least for me. And so for me, fully surrendering to, I want to get past this. I want to just know that my father passed away. I don't want to have to relive it every time it comes up again. The fear for me was, does that mean I'm just going to get over my dad? Am I just going to get over his death? Is this a disservice to his memory? Is this a dishonor to, at that point I had already started my entire new profession of this brand and messaging and mantra of ever forward, ever forward, ever forward, based on him. I'm like, if I get over it, am I killing my brand? Am I not living my message anymore? And so I was like, all right, there's got to be more. And I had been doing a lot up to that point, all the journaling, all the things, but I was like, I want to go into the deep end of what I am not surrendering to, what I have not yet surrendered to at that moment. And I want to just go through the most intense therapy modalities that I can, go back to professional help, go through different modalities of, for me, it was breath work. It was going back to a psychotherapist. It was going through psychedelic assisted psychotherapy and just, really doing traditional plus these alternative altered state of consciousness modalities to just unlock things, the scariest things that, do get suppressed. And when I did, and I was just fully ready to fully surrender, man, Dom, like the level of healing, the level of existing, the level of feeling, the level of love, of self-love that is on the other side of true surrender, you cannot fathom until you go through. That surrender process for me was like the next 2 years. And I reached a point now, like I did not even think, just the way that I think about him and I think about those dark days, I never would have believed anybody if you told me that the way of thinking, much less the way of being and living your life, is possible. Wow. And it only came from the most full, complete surrender to do the hardest work around the hardest time of my life.